Hello everyone, back again with some more Legacy D&T. Today is the second to last stream maybe, unless I do a cheeky number one later on in the week. But it's the 18th now. Uh, Next Monday will be the 25th, and we're set to travel to Bologna on the 28th. So times are ticking on what I can only hope is the right deck choice for me. I mean, I don't really have another choice, but hopefully I get a good, solid amount of testing and manage to get a good list. But yeah, today we're playing Death Tax again. I think I've said. Uh, Trying a more basic list today. I decided that it's better off not to play these spicy one-ofs, trying out like weird cards like Gideon Blackblade and stuff, and just try and go as simple as possible, as solid as possible, um, and go from there. See what works, see what doesn't. The list I'm currently using, which is a list that I got off of watching XJ Cloud stream. He got it off of a fellow D&T player who I've completely forgotten the name of and feel bad doing so. Um, the day came like 21st Eternal Weekend a while ago, so clearly the deck has something going for it. Um, I do like having two recruiters in the main, and I do love having at least three Flick Wisps. Two Charming Prince is interesting. I think that's the main point of contention for me. See if I only want to run one. I was thinking of maybe running a third Revoker nowadays. You have a lot of artifact decks coming around, a lot of decks where being able to name LED or Pels and stuff allows you to get that extra time in. The sideboard in itself is fairly stock as well. Um, Not much different. I think the main things that are not necessarily stock would be the third Council's Judgment, which I would say is more stock nowadays. I guess the second path, the Deafening Silence, and the Leonin Relic Warder. The Relic Warder is interesting. I kind of want to see how good it is right now. It's definitely a slot that I could see changing more so than the rest. But I think the sideboard's pretty solid right now. I don't know if there's a lot I would change, except this gun. I like Deafening Silence a lot, although it can be uh, there's a definite point of contention of it being a Pithing Needle instead, but I think Deafening Silence is definitely better in the combo matchups. It just helps you not get turn two'd usually. You can't really stop turn ones unless you're on the play, but it does help when you're on the play in that regard. So without further ado, let's play some Magic. Hopefully, I don't end up invalidated by the BNL today, as there could potentially be some legacy changes. I'm not entirely sure about that, but obviously it's more of a focus on modern, or not modern, standard and pioneer at the moment in that regard. But if I did have a legacy banning in mind, I would love, love, love to see Renin 6 go. I'm sure most people would, unless you're playing it yourself. So it sounds fairly fine. You keep these. Drawing the swords is good. You didn't play anything turn one, so I'm expecting either just a pass or an Inset Brainstorm. Obviously, an Inset Brainstorm's not ideal for them, but Pond. Let's see how he. Oh, sorry. Let's see how they. Excuse me. Let's see how they. Uh, how they shuffle. Okay. I think I'm just gonna play out the Stoneforge. Get myself a sort of Fire and Ice. I think that'll help more so in the long run, especially after we do this Mirror Crusader. I already have the GT. Um, from the looks of things, probably the worst equipment of the three, but definitely not bad. We got bolt this in response, so if he does that, I'm definitely gonna get a sword. He's gonna stifle it, sure. Okay, that's better. That suggests Delver for sure. Um, he'll probably not try and burn removal on the Stoneforge now that he's stifled the trigger. He probably assumes I don't have equipment in hand, so that means that this GT is especially good in the hand. It means I have a surprise. It says a Delver, sure. I hope to draw a land here so I can um, that's fine too. It means I can play out the swords and not feel like I'm going down on mana. Excuse me 1 second, I have a phone call. Hello everyone, sorry about that. My darling girlfriend is trying to call me. I don't think the connection's very good though. She's gonna message me now. I apologize for this. Just want to make sure she's okay. So, the turn where I played Swords and then Vile, I think I should have played Vile first because that's more of an important card in this matchup. I think now that we've drawn this Battle Skull, I can definitely sit back on this Stoneforge. Um, don't have to walk into any more counter spells. He's just playing past the turn. So I'm happy to just do the same, especially because I have end step tricks. It would have been nice. It's nice to draw he's just passing, then I'm gonna activate this, put in the Pascal. He probably stifle the living weapon trigger if he's gonna stifle anything. Cracks is good. I might. This is an opportunity where I could play around a braid. Um, I also like playing Tomic and passing, just attacking with the Pascal. I could also bounce the Stoneforge with the Charming Prince, but I also want to get this GA out, so I think I'm just gonna attack and play Tomic. I think I'm going to port them instead of. Actually, no, that's not right. I want to get down to GT, so I'm just gonna let this go. Um, and also lets me hold up Krakus. Pyrance is fine, especially now that I get to put down a GT. I think this is actually a very bad spot for our opponent. They seem to be stuck on lands. GT is going to kind of end the game for them. Yeah, okay, cool. So it looks like we're playing against Blue-Red Delver. Blue-Red is a bit easier for us than Rogue because they don't have Oko and they don't have um, Renin 6. Obviously, that's a big issue. I think these are the 7 cards I want for sure. Chalice is very good in this matchup because they're mainly ones. They don't have a lot to kill. Artifacts I have a Brave, but the Braves are spread thin um, against our equipment. So we definitely don't want Revokers. Mirror Crusaders aren't very good either in this matchup. I think Dragon Prince is actually quite good. Not good enough that I want all of them. And I think I can cut a recruit as well. I like keeping one in just for the added flexibility. Also lets me get some Flicker Wisp chains going, which is good in these matchups because they don't they're a lot more aggressive than the Rogue Devil lists as far as I know. But they are playing Stifle, so it's possible that they are actually Rogue. Um, I'm not sure if the blue-red versions play Stifle. I could be wrong. So I'm not going to board entirely assuming that they are um, blue-red, but I have seen only the blue-red cards. So I'm going to put challenges in. If I do see Rogue, I will swap these for Rest in Peace because that's better against the Tarmogoyf and the Renin 6s. Also, like Oko can turn it into a free, so it's not as good. Also, I'll bring back in the Revokers and take out a Flicker Wisp. Bring in the Mirror Crusaders again. I'll take out the Recruiter. This hand's a keep. It lets us play Pascal if they stifle the Stoneforge Mystic trigger. I also have a play against the Delver. Um, Now, I was just thinking about if I drew a Wasteland, what do I do? I think what I'm going to do is still play Swords because I imagine that they probably have a Brainstorm. They're not going to keep a 1 land hand on a 7 without a Brainstorm at the very least. So I'm just going to play this and pass. There's a Brainstorm. Sorry about this, just making sure my girlfriend's okay. Okay, there you go. So If they play down a threat this turn, um, I think I would be happy to sort it. Although it's possible that if the time arises, I play a threat, I will play Wasteland first and not walk into a daze, which I think is the best thing to do. This matchup, it's especially on the draw, it's important you don't get tempoed out. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to swords this with the Wasteland, and I'm going to Wasteland the Volk and pass the turn. Dread Arcanist is fine. I think I want to swords this too. We got the extra land, so that's good. Next turn, I'd like to play Forge Mystic. Enquirancer is fine. I can also answer this if I needed to. I think what I want to do is I think Vile is at a point now where it might not be as relevant as getting the Stoneforge Mystic down into a daze. I think the Stoneforge is better, and I'll probably get a Fire and Ice. So I'm going to play out this first. GT is also a consideration because if he removes my if they remove my Stoneforge, then it's cheaper and it's easier to cast. But I think the power of Fire and Ice is definitely relevant. I can play if he kills my Stoneforge next turn and he removes this Vial, which he's entirely capable of doing on 4 cards, then I think I'd rather have the Fire and Ice just for the long game. But the GT is also very important in that case, especially because he's got a young Pyrancer on the field. I think because I've got the Bar Skull, I'm going to take the GT actually. I'm going to go to second main phase and then I'm going to play the Vial. No reason other than I just accidentally clicked. Um, there's Okay, that resolves. That's good for me, unless he's got an Abrade. But even then, if he's got an Abrade, I'd rather him use it on the Aether Vial that I've got played on turn 3 than like the Bar Skull or GT that I have in my hand. Assuming he's just going to play some cantrips. Probably looking for a land at this point. Probably also looking for an answer to what I'm doing currently. Um, there's the land. If he cracks it, then I'm happy to see that. Probably got a bolt as well. Yeah, that's fine. So I got 2 Council Judgment now. So at this point, I'm kind of thinking about whether or not I'd like to get rid of this young Pyromancer before it starts to get out of control. He could also have a daze, that's important to note. But I think considering I kind of can't play around it as I'm on the back foot, so I'm glad that resolved and did so without any responses. So I'm gonna let that happen. I kind of want to play the Recruiter off the Vial just so I have so I know it resolves, but it also depends on whether or not um, I draw anything worth playing as well. Because now if I draw a land, I can play Recruiter and then I can play Charming Prince and bounce the Recruiter and get a Sanctum Prelate or something, which will be good against this deck especially. Folly is also a solid choice. I think I'm going to play the GT into Cow Magic. Um, I don't mind too much. I'm going to pass because he's got 2 mana up. So even if I play the Folly out off of the Vial, um, it's gonna get bolted. I upkeep. I'm gonna put the Folly in. There's the ball. Happy for him to use his mana on his turn rather than mine, as that means that he's now got 2 less mana to work with on his turn. Obviously, still got a lot of mana in comparison. He's running out of cards though, which is good for me because that means that there's less answers for this GTA in the long run. Put this up to 3. Get another Folly, which is good. I think I want to play the Folly out. Um, then I'll keep this Recruiter in the back. I'm very happy to see Force here, mainly because it means that he's only got what he's drawing off the top of his deck. For I can see from the screen, I don't think he knows what's on top either. So what I'm going to do is get a Recruiter for a Prelate, I think. Delver is fine. Delver is absolutely fine. Um, so he's going to attack. I'm going to take this. And then at end step, I'm going to recruit for a free drop. It's also possible that I would like to get a flicker. Okay, he's just conceded. That's fair. Getting to connect with that GT is probably like an game over for him. And then also if I get the prelate put on 1, he can only draw 2 mana cards as outs, and even then I've got like this that GT to deal with, and anything I draw off the top is strong. I still have this Council's Judgment if I draw the 3rd land. So that was a good game. I think that if I know a lot of people are playing blue red as a response to the rug decks, so if I see that a lot at Bologna, I'd be happy. Just because I think it's a lot easier, it's a better matchup than Rug Delver is. Just putting in my results into my tracker. Cool. Alright, I'll get into the next game now. I think the GT was definitely the better choice in the long run, as was shown in that game. Um, if I had gotten Sword and Fire and Ice instead, the fact that it was free mana probably would have resulted in me being unable to cast it for a long amount of time, or the more potential of it being dazed. I think that was definitely the better choice, especially against the deck running Young Pyromancer. The reason I didn't play Council's Judgment on the Young Pyromancer immediately is because I think at the time I still had the Stoneforge out, and also I wanted to make sure I had an answer to tuning, because that's one of the harder cards for me to deal with in this matchup. And that I only have 3 answers to it, and I don't want to use the one I have in hand if I don't have to. I'm happy to just take a few hits from the elementals. So I get to be on the play. That's very good. His hand is fine. I'm definitely keeping it. I could obviously get comboed. I don't have a Thalia, but I have a good hand against fair decks. Charming Prince helps me scry to a Thalia or um, a Prelate or something if I need to. But I don't hate having equipment in my hand with Stoneforge because it means I have a choice after I get whatever equipment I'm getting. Seeing a swamp is not great because usually that means I'm playing against the combo deck. like so. I'm probably dead. He's got fast sees me. That's fine. Considering I the fact that I have two Charming Princes is probably the best thing about this Thoughtseize because it means that that's probably the best card for him to take. Maybe Stoneforge for I guess like swords if he's playing Reanimator. That kind of solidifies him on Reanimate rather than Storm. Uh, that's a nice art. I've not seen that one before. So here comes the Grizzlebrand or Chancellor. Probably not Chancellor. I would have got revealed, but probably it's probably a Grizzlebrand who's entombing. Don't know what I'm saying. I had a game against Reanimator where I surgical the Grizzlebrand in response to them exhuming it, but forgot to get the one from the graveyard, and obviously that's not ideal. I still somehow won because he whiffed on all of his draws, and I managed to then just play Rest in Peace. So that was definitely an interesting game. It's actually on my YouTube if you want to see that happen. Um, I imagine a lot of people are watching this on YouTube because I haven't got a lot of people in the stream. So if you watch my first stream, you'll see that happen. So they thought about that for a second. That means that they probably not got what they want so far, or they do, and they're looking for something more definitive. Um, Now I'm just kind of hoping for a Krakus. Even then, it's not fantastic. Um, there's not much else. Swords is fine because it's now they're at four, they can't draw again. Um, See what they discard. Probably just a load of lands and a couple. If I see any like yeah, put a big fives to reanimate. If I see any additional reanimation spells in the graveyard, like reanimate. Mm, I'm not dead yet. Although if he reanimates this Elvish Knoll, I am. But I'm just gonna play Charming Prince and Scry. That's the only thing I can do. There's not much more that I can do in this matchup, considering my hand. Even disregarding my hand, it was on their turn one, so I couldn't do much. That's probably the best two cards I could see. So I'm going to top both. But the question remains in what order do I want to draw them? I think considering the Grizzlebrand in hand, or the Grizzlebrand on the field, I want the swords first, and then Caracas the Elish Norn after, or the other way around, after they draw 7 with Grizzlebrand. So I want to draw Caracas second, because I want to get rid of the Elish Norn for good. They only run one, and I think I definitely can't be an Elish Norn, whereas I can beat a Grizzlebrand with Caracas. Obviously, if they just play like two big things, then it's difficult. I can wasteland this Badlands. Not sure how relevant that is, but it's something I can do. I might want to keep the wasteland just to be able to play Sword of Iron Eyes, because that's one of the ways I can push through to 4 damage. Exhume is good for me because it lets me get Stoneforge, which is actually kind of relevant. Another body that will die, but it does mean I get another card. Wait, I know I should have done that. Should I? No, I shouldn't have. Okay. That wasn't smart. Don't do what I did. Say no. So the cards that you scry on top aren't um, now shuffled into your deck. Uh, Bit of advice for, if you scry the 2 best cards for you to draw in your deck on top, and you get the chance to shuffle your deck. and find a 5 mana card that you're not going to be able to play. Don't do that. um, so I took my other creature. That's fine. Uh, hopefully now I just get the sick rips off the top. Very unlikely, but possible. So I want here is a swords, and then a Krakus again. So exactly what I just shuffled into my library. See, it's alright. You get these misplays out of the way, so when the situation comes up in Balloon, I don't ruin my chances. Although saying that, I'm trying not to go into it with any expectations, since I feel that's the best way to go about it. If you try and expect anything, you'll end up worse off. Considering how my opponent has drawn the cards this game out I've gone about, it's kind of hard for me to win this game, even if I did draw those two cards. But it's about making sure that you give yourself the most chances possible. Give yourself those 1%ers. See there, like, he kills my white source. I can't swords anyway this turn. Yeah, okay. So, in this matchup, you bring in everything, pretty much. All these cards. I don't think you bring in Relic Order, but everything else, all 12 of these. You take out all the bad cards. Giver Runes, Jite, probably Trim on the Stone Forges. I think you take out the whole package actually. Um, clears up a lot of space, and then a Talmic isn't fantastic. It just lands, so that's fine. You're basically trying to clock them. It's also possible that I want Atomic instead of a third Flicker Wisp just because the Flicker Wisps are a bit expensive, but they're also one of the better cards that you have in terms of actually um, doing things with Vial. You can also Flicker Wisp your Sanctum Prelate to reset it from 1 to 2 if you need to do that to make sure that you have swords. There's a lot of interesting things you can do if you have like Deafening Silence out and you have Sanctum Prelate. It's better to put on 2 just to deal with wear and tear, although that's a 4, so it doesn't work. But um, other things like you'd rather have it on 2 for Exhume instead of like for the extra dark rituals and stuff, because Deafening Silence makes that not relevant. Um, I'm entirely assuming I just get turn 1 here, so I'm not going into this expecting anything fantastic. However, I would be happy if I got one of my turn 1 plays. A Surgical would be good, a Chalice is fine, you put down 0, which kind of helps stop them from doing things on turn 1. Deafening Silence is one of the better ones because it's an enchantment. They can't deal with that until turn 2. Um, and it helps you like bridge into Rest in Peace and stuff. This hand is probably not good enough. You have Chalice on 0, and I have this Thalia, but I don't have a white source and I don't have a very good follow-up. It's interesting though. It's definitely one to consider. One that I will take a picture of because I'd like to know everyone else's opinion. Well, look, this hand isn't much better, really. Um, I think I'm happy to mulligan this too. This hand is fine. this is a good hand. I probably get rid of the Recruiter and the Path. These 4 cards are only like these 5 cards are only not really what I need. Um, it's also possible that I might get rid of the Thalia, but I think even I don't mind. So I definitely want to just kind of stop them doing what they're doing as much as I can. Place on 0, pass the turn. I want to play Rest in Peace next turn first before I play the Thalia because it'll make it cost 1. Unless I draw a land, then there's more consideration for playing Thalia first. I think I definitely want to play Rest in Peace if they just pass on here because then they can go like N2 Megzoom or N2 Reanimate. This might just mean I'm dead again. It's entirely possible. They did just pitch a Dark Ritual, so they probably have another one. Considering that I'm definitely glad I mulled the first hand because if they just turn on me now, I ain't got a lot. Okay, they're just gonna strip my hand, which is fine. I mean, it's not ideal, but I can still rip some good cards. I can just port them in the meantime. Shining Prince is good. I think it's bad and just porting them because I want to be able to get a clock on the field after this. I think it's better off me just porting them. I think I bomb the planes and keep the swords on top. It's just playing attack, port them at this point. Not much more to say in this regard. Keep up. I can keep up swords now as well. Um, so here comes it's the slow process of beating them to death. It's better for them that this happens in the sense that they can start building up their hands to try and combo me again. Um, they do have a lot of blanks in terms of like just like discard. That's fine. I don't mind them taking the swords. Um, unless they just like go off. They're gonna reanimate my Thalia. That's okay. It's probably better for me. Um, this means that they haven't really got a lot. I'm gonna play my own Thalia. Just start getting in. Makes things incredibly expensive for them. Free mana, Faith Slewing, or Magus of the Moon. That's interesting. Um, I don't know if that's necessarily what I would have chose. I think I just take this and then I attack him with my 2. I don't think he should have attacked. He should stay back. Are we going to trade with my Charming Prince? If he just takes it, then I'm quite happy with that. I'm definitely in the more commanding position when it comes to just attacking. I have a lot less spells in my deck. If he just passes here without attacking, I attack with Thalia. Or I might just leave Thalia back, wait for a flyer. That's fine too. Play that. Get the scry. And strike to something strong. Path is fine. It's like 3 mana, get the Magus out. Although I think I'd rather just. I'm gonna keep the path on top. And I'm going to attack with Thalia. I'm open to a trade. He hasn't really got a lot going on. If he just takes it, that's good for me. Very happy to see that. I can path his Thalia and then attack in. Put him to 1. So Reanimate's a dead card now. Okay, that was an interesting game. Definitely a lot more scrappy than I would have expected. Um, but I think this is fine. It might be better to have this Relic Order instead of the Vial, but I'm not entirely sure. I don't think it's necessarily that big an issue. I do like being able to play a Vial out on 1 if I have Surgical or something as a backup, because it allows for a lot more versatility in my layer turns if I'm trying to be just kind of playing Drago for a bit. Um, lets me hold up Caracas while I'm playing to the board still, lets me like port them and wasteland them. The same general concept. So I think I keep this hand on the basis that Surgical can prevent the turn 1. Um, and then I have Rest in Peace to follow that. Obviously, if he has discard or anything, then it's bad. He's multi 5, so I'm less scared of something like Unmask into Reanimate. Um, so I'm definitely happy with this. He's multi 4. That's even better for me. He's probably going to try and go all in and then get blown out by this. Um, these games have been interesting so far. Quite happy with my play, although it's been a bit awkward. Obviously, this is. I'm definitely happy to see these kind of decks rather than the random crap you can find on Magic Online. Sure. I think I hold the surgical. Um, Now that I have a target, I don't have to worry about discard. There's also a possible. I think I'm gonna wasteland it actually. I have the surgical. He's on 2. I don't think he has an extra land, and if he does, that's fine for me too. Yeah, okay. There's the swords as well, so I'm just extra insulated. When I play Recruiter, I can go get a Thalia, or I can go get a American Crusader to have a better clock. I think if I'm going to rest in peace, which I am, I'm gonna surgical the shenanigans, or I'm gonna surgical the faithless looting first, because that gives him the biggest chance of coming back into the game. I also get a look at his hand. Um, his hand is okay. Let's take a picture of this. So we had the combo on the next turn, even then we would have surgicaled it. Um, okay. So now we're going to play this port, and we're going to rest in peace. And then next time we're going to get a recruiter, we're probably going to get something that can kill him quickly, like a American Crusader or a Prelate. We're going to get Prelate, and we're going to name 4, or 2, we're going to name 2. Um, I should have taken a picture of his deck as well, but I know he has Assassin Trophy and a Prop Decay, so I'm going to get a Prelate named 2. Um, Sanctum Prelate. So we dodged the uh, Thoughtseize draw. Now we name 2. He's only got 1 out in the deck. I'm going to start porting him. I also have Krakus now for the Grizzlebrand after that. Um, things aren't looking great for our opponent, but there are definitely ways for him to win. Um, he needs a way to get rid of Rest in Peace, and then he needs a discard outlet, and then also he needs lands. Um, another crew is good. I think with this I can get a Revoker and name Grizzlebrand, because that's one of the few ways that I do lose. I can also get a Thalia. Thalia is not bad. Um, gonna start with attacking. Trying to get as much of a board as I can. I think a Folly is probably the best option. Can have Massacre as well. Maybe it's possible I do play on 4. I think at this point it might have been better to get a Flickerus to flicker the Sanctum Prelate so that I can play on 4. Massacre is definitely one of the few ways that I do lose this game. I do have Krakus to bounce Folly now if that does happen. I also have this Deafening Silence, which is quite good. I'm going to play it. I'm going to port his Scrubland because so I have 3 cards in his hand, so he's got 1 random. Okay, that's fine. We know his 3 cards, so that's not the end of the world. Another port is good. Happy to see that. I don't think he has many outs if we port his Badlands now, because then oh, he doesn't have Faithless Looting anyway. I think we port the Scrubland again. All of it. We'll just port the Badlands. The deck's mainly red black. Or we just port both. We have 2. Don't know what I'm talking about. Um, tap this. Tap this. And 2. That's fine. Yeah, okay. Okay, that was an interesting one. If he had Dark Ritual first, he might have been able to get something down. I don't know if it would have been enough. I guess Elish Norn is like his best option. I think that's kind of hard. But yeah, I think he misplayed in that way. That was definitely an interesting match. Um, but then I just like Caracas to Elish Norn and he hasn't really got a way to get it back. And I could play Thalia. Because I had Caracas to Thalia and then I had Caracas. The Elish Norn on my turn. Play out the Thalia, play the extra Caracas. Cool. Winning twice on the draw against Reanimator is. Oh, I guess I was on the play. Game 2. Didn't feel like it though. But yeah, that went well. Hopefully we shall get some more good games like that. If you're enjoying this so far, make sure you follow me. Uh, if you want to see more, I'll be doing this more frequently after Bologna as well, depending on if I have the time. I'll probably be playing other formats as well, like Pioneer, Modern less so, unless they make it a bit better. It's a bit dull at the moment, but I'll definitely be playing Standard as well if that gets um, shuffled about today. I'm gonna keep this hand because it's got Stone Forge Mystic in it and 2 lands, which is generally fine, and like some fine creatures. And it's not the best hand, but I'm okay with it. Sure. If you want to make sure that you're followed up on when I'm streaming or anything else that I do, Twitter's the best way to do it. I have that in the palm as well. You can always follow me there. I don't post a lot, but when I do, it's generally about this stream or how I will be doing at Bologna. So if you're interested in that, feel free to go there. Also, if you're watching this on YouTube, um, you'll find my Twitter on my channel. So I said my opponent was paying costs, but there wasn't anything in his hand or on the field. So it's possible that he hasn't shuffled. I'm not entirely sure what I'm trying to say, but I'm just gonna play a land and pass because I can't do much else. This looks to be Rogue because of Scalding Tarn. If I had seen a Misty, I would be more inclined to not make the assumption that it's anything other than blue and green so far, because it could be Sultai. If it is Sultai, Rogue Crusader is a lot better. Obviously, in this matchup, these aren't great because of Bolt, and this isn't great because of Ren and 6. So I'm entirely expecting to get tempoed out of this game starting now. A bit days. This might be a stifle. Spell Snare, also a good one from them. Next turn, if they flip the Delver, I can Flicker Wisp it to reset it, which they probably will have flipped, although they did shuffle because of their fetch. And because they spell snared, I think that I'm less inclined to assume they have the days. Although they might just want to get their days value out as well. Tarmogoyf is fine. I'll play a Mega Crusader now. If I can get a scenario where I can play GTA and equip, that's very good for me. Although I'm not expecting miracles at this point. He's got 4 cards still. Although he hasn't really played many cantrips, so he hasn't gone through a lot of his deck. He didn't play a land though, so I'm more inclined to assume that he's probably got counter magic. Definitely see a daze here happening. Force of Will is better because now I definitely know he doesn't got a daze. I'd quite like this turn. If he doesn't flip Delver, that would be ideal. If he does, I'll play Flicker Wisp and reset it. And then I will... Okay, so he revealed a land to me. That's nice. I don't think he meant to do that. But... Sure. I'd like to see this be a shuffle, obviously. Alternatively, not Ren and 6. Okay, another Tarmogoyf is fine. Kind of want to get into a position where I can like Jailer, Flicker Jailer to like get this board gone. Another Mirror Crusade is good. Happy to see a swords. Giver runes is fine as well. Likely to take a lot of damage here, but if I can get GTA onto Flicker Wisp, that'll help my chances. And then I can Jailer, like kill this, Jailer, that, and then like block this, get my GTA triggers up. So let's run out my threats. Probably take a bunch this turn. 11 at most. It might have been better to, yeah, okay, to play around days by not doing what I just did, which is probably what I should have done. And I'm going to lose for it probably. I mean, very likely, unless I draw another Moon Crusader very soon. That's like one of the few ways I can get back into this game. The fact he's not flipping Delvers is good. Um, Unless it's off of a Planeswalker or a true name. I think I'm pretty dead here. Even if I'd resolved my Flicker Wisp. Like I might just have to play out this Jailer just as like an answer, a desperate answer to what they're doing. I don't like it, but I think I want to Swords of Delver now. I'm not inclined to kill the Tarmogoyf just because I have a blocker for it. It might have been better just because I have the GTA to kill this Tarmogoyf because he's gonna get this one back. If he just has a bolt here, I'm dead. He has Ponder into bolt. Just anything lightning bolt related kills me. Um, I can also die to removal spell. I bring up pretty dead anyway. If we didn't have the true name, I think I would be in a good spot. But having the true name is a bit of an issue because like this turn I can like jump, hope to draw into something. Yeah, spell. Okay, cool. All right. So In this matchup, I want to bring in all these, excluding the relic order. That doesn't come in. Just these 7 cards. I take out Jailer, that's not very good. I'll take out Recruit, Trim on a Flicker Wisp because they're not great against the Renin 6 deck. Evoker's not fantastic either. I might just take out all of this. Trim a Charming Prince as well. My main cards are Mirror Crusader, Giver Runes together, double Giver Runes especially. Tomic's great in that sense as well. It might be better to have a Charming Prince over the Rook, even though the Rook is good against Renin 6. I think that is fine. All removal. Try and control their threats. Get down some equipment. And a Mirror Crusader. The best scenario is that I have a Mirror Crusader equipped with a Sword and Fire and Ice and a Prelate on 1. Because that locks, or Prelate on 2 rather, because that locks him out of being killed. This hand would be good if I had a white source, but I think without it I would mulligan. This hand is fine. I think I'll get rid of one of the planes. There's also a consideration for getting rid of the Wasteland because we're playing against Renin 6. So like, but we have the Rest in Peace, so it's like less bad. Also possibly Trim Thalia in this matchup. I'm not entirely sure. They melt to 6-2. Their mulls aren't nearly as bad as ours. Kind of interested in playing Thalia here. I don't need to play this Rest in Peace immediately, so I think that is what I will do. Might be better to play the Crackers, just so I have like Crackers available. And Wasteland next turn if I need it, if I don't want to play Rest in Peace. Tarmogoyf, sure, that's fine. I can play Rest in Peace into that, and then Wasteland Volk. Although I can't do both because of Thalia, but Swords is also good. Given the scenario, I actually think it might be better to Swords this, and then Wasteland Volk. So I like doing that. I can't force because of Thalia. Also because of Thalia, Daze isn't an option. Nowadays is an option, but I'm okay with that. Because Rest in Peace isn't like a big thing right now. I'm happy to see it get counted. It's not a big thing. Um, they can always stifle the trigger if they want to. That might have been a consideration there. Um, this is entirely possible. It's entirely possible that this is a Renin 6 or a true new. I wouldn't like to see that one because it's a little bastard and makes things not very fun because now they have a Renin 6 out. But um, I was just gonna say, 1 second. I think there's a package for me. Sorry about that. Hello. Um, Probably gonna lose this game after that round six. I'm drawing a lot of lands. I think this game, I don't. There wasn't a lot that I could do in the sense that I'm really drawing a lot of threats. Just a Thalia. Um, it might be possible that Rest in Peace isn't necessarily a very good card in this matchup, but it does mean that Ren and 6 uptick doesn't necessarily do anything. Um, I'm hoping to draw a Recruiter and then go get a Mirror Crusader or a Flicker Wisp. Or probably not, a Charming Prince rather would be better. Um, they're drawing multiple Wastelands, which isn't the worst. I'm happy with them to Wasteland to Port. Um, I think my best option now would be a Council's Judgment first, into a Recruiter. That's okay also. And this is one of the scenarios where I would have liked to have a Gideon in my sideboard. So it's just something that I can draw that will immediately like impact the game. Where it's fine if like the creature gets removed. It's like a singular card. Like Dreadhorde, okay. I think Rest in Peace is probably considering I've read Arcanist, I think it's definitely fine. Um, it does kind of make the stuff in the deck a bit mopey. It's just that stuff in my deck's kind of mopey too. Stoneforge is probably the best card I can draw. I'll probably get a SoFi off of that because I imagine he's just holding removal. Another land. I'm gonna play it out because I want at least 5 lands out in case I draw Basco. I don't think he's going to wasteland me unless he draws another land, and he might wasteland me now. And then I like having 4. There's a Council Judgment. I'm quite happy to see that. Hoping it will resolve. Although, considering he's just been sitting on cards, it's entirely possible that it doesn't. But the fact that it does is quite good. Happy to see Renin 6 gone. This means I actually have a chance in this game. My draws now uh, expand widely. He could just have another Renin 6 in hand. That's entirely possible. Um, and I'm imagining that's what I'm going to see now. Yeah, okay. That's fine. Obviously not ideal, but like true name would be worse, I think, given the board state. So I'm hoping for some sick rips. The recipe has actually been quite impressive. Okay. Giver's good. I like seeing Giver here. I'm gonna play it out because he probably has a bolt. I'm happy for him to bolt this specifically. And it blocks. So although I don't want to block because he can ping it with Ren, so I'm not going to. Um, I don't hate seeing a wasteland just to get rid of this volcanic island. The fact that he hasn't drawn any cantrips is surprising. I assumed he'd have a lightning bolt, so I'm not too surprised there. If he pings me again next turn, then I think it's fairly obvious that he has another Ren, but I don't think they play more than two nowadays. Unless he's just on free Ren, no Oko, but I'd probably assume they'd play Oko too. That card's pretty busted. Um, that's fine. Like, another vial means that a recruiter is especially bad, like good. Um, so that I can start chaining off, get a board going, get a prince, or get like I can go um, get get a charming prince or a flicker the thing, and then get something else file that in. Probably a stone forge. Multiple things to equip to. This game's definitely not over. Um, my opponent's trying to find something to do because he realizes the same. He has to kind of pick up his clock before I draw something relevant. Don't know why I decided then to wasteland my crackers, seeing as though I now have two vials, so it's like even less of an issue in terms of mana. Um, Drawing a lot of lands. I would like to see some sort of like threat or a. Okay, yeah, this is fine. I'm happy to see this honestly because I'm at such a like I'm at a decently high life total. Um, Considering my options, I think it's fair to port the drop. I could be wrong. He's more instant speed stuff for Volcanic Island than he would with drop. So It's a bit of a boring game, so I apologize for that. But I'm hoping that I can draw into something a bit better, and then the game can actually get going. That is a very good one. I'm trying to think now what the best thing is to do. And I think it is to port him um, on end step or on upkeep. Play the vial or vial out the Stoneforge. Get a sword and fire and ice. Yes. I can't play around force at this point. I don't think he has force in his deck um, anymore. I'm especially hoping not. So I can definitely choose what I do with the sword based on what I draw. If I draw something like a Mere Crusader, I'd be better off waiting and compiling them both in uh, after I port down their Volk. Yeah. I think a Sword of Fire and Ice is the best option. It gives me the best staying power against them with the card draw. Um, another land. I think this tells me that I want to play this. Okay, that's really good. Really happy to see that go through. He's gonna have to block with Hexdrink because I'm gonna ping it down either way. Um, I imagine he would have abraded one of my vials if he had got a braid. So he didn't block. That's surprising. Okay, so I drew another land. That's okay. Um, not the worst. I mean, it is the worst, but uh, at least I'm not trying that next turn, I guess. Can see an Oko here. Um, yep, it's not terrible. If he turns the sword into a free. Kind of don't hate happening, especially before he attacks. I'm gonna attack Ren. Um, I'll probably block with the Arcanist. Go to Sword at Ren, just Oko. So you can exchange. This is an interesting game for sure. It's definitely anyone's game now. Um, best draws are like GT, Recruiter. Recruiter is one of the best ones. Port's okay. Might have been better to actually attack the Oko because the -5. But I'm okay with minusing 5 Oko here to exchange with the sword because I have a lot of outs um to get it back. Um, okay. That choice between these two, I think I want to get the drop again. Oh, it might be better to get the Volk, actually, now that I'm thinking about it. He's going to attack and then probably -5 on the sword. Um, if he's attacking, that's what I'm assuming he's doing. Okay, he's just making a food. That's okay too. As he bolts this. Yeah, okay. Kind of need a council's judgment now. Or go run away with the game. Card's very good in every format. Yeah, I really need a council's judgment. Um, that's interesting. It does let me get a Baskel. It's kind of thinking now about what I do. Um, I think I attack Goku first. It's also possible I want GT. I kind of don't hate GT. I'm not sure. It could have been possible that scrying would have been better. Try and find a council's judgment. I think I like playing Battle Skull because I can equip it to the prince and start attacking next turn. Might want to do that on his end step or on his main phase too, so that I can play around Bolt if I'm doing this. His time's ticking down, so he has to kind of pick the pace up if he wants. Recipe has actually been really impressive. What did he do? He did not shuffle. Okay. Sure. One, two, 3, 4, 5. Can I take it? Another land. Might just be better to pass here. I think it is. And just like pull him again. This is only game 2. The problem with putting on the 2/2 is if I attack, he just blocks with the Arcanist, and then his Oko's on 7 still, and he turns my Battle Skull into a 3/3, and I can't really do a lot. So I like doing this now because it means that I can attack the Oko, and I have the ability to bounce it without using all of my mana. The problem was that I wouldn't have an opportunity to bounce it last turn. Now I have the mana available. I feel a lot more comfortable doing this. Like I can bounce it and still put it back in with Stoneforge. Now I have his mana locked up with ports. I'm quite comfortable with that. That wasteland was kind of a good draw. Um, I'm kind of comfortable just attacking with the germ. If he makes like food and blocks, I can attack, kill the food, bounce it, play it on end step off the Stoneforge, do it again. He can only make a food creature every second turn, whereas I can do this every turn. And this just like at this point, I'm kind of playing to time. I'm okay with him making this a free as well, because this means that I can just equip it to the Charming Prince now and attack in. I'm okay with that. Because I'll have the mana to bounce afterwards. At this point, I'm going to attack Oko with both the Gem and the Stoneforge. Leave the Charming Prince back. That's a good draw. Just another creature, a flying creature I can equip Pascal to crack us up. I'm going to leave that back. My opponent was smart to realize that the Stoneforge is the issue and like elfed it, whereas I'm sure a lot of people wouldn't want to turn the 1/2 into a 3/3. I'm fine with this. Putting Oko to 2 is quite good for me. I think this turn I just pass. I do the port stuff. I'm also kind of just fine with letting him turn it into an alchemy. Okay, great. So he has 50 seconds to play game 3. At this point, I'm happy to just submit. I don't think he'll be able to kill me in 57 seconds of his time. So I'm going to just try and play in a control role, especially. I know usually this isn't how you'd play it, but I think I was going to win that match there anyway. Um, After I drew that Tomic, I'm able to like keep his board down, attack into Yoko. When I finally kill the Yoko, I can start pressuring his life toll. I can pour down his lands. I don't think he had I had a bit enough of a stranglehold on his mana supply that he wasn't able to commit a lot to the board every turn. Um, okay. Well, you can see that I don't think he realized that he can win in that time either. Um, I believe I was on the draw to first game, and then I won on the play, and then I won on the draw to time. Okay. Um, so we got our money back. That's about as happy as I can be with this. Uh, Anything else now is a plus. I feel like I've learned a lot just from playing these 3 games. So, and they've all been against decks that I consider to be what I'd probably play against at Bologna. So I'm very happy to play this league. If I get the 5-0, I'd be happy. A 4-1 would be great as well. I'm not expecting anything though, so I'm happy with just going 3 wins. It all comes down to how the games go. At the end of the day, I'm not expecting anything. I also don't think that I am playing. I'm playing fine. I think I'm playing good, especially that game. I was quite happy with my play there. So hopefully, if I can continue it, I could get my first trophy ever. Actually, I don't really play a lot of Magic Online outside of testing for tournaments. I think this hands on more good. I've only got these two pieces of interaction. I have triple port, which is nice in some matchups, but I think I'd rather um, have a more steady hand like this. This is very good. I'm quite happy to keep this, and I'll probably get rid of the second swords just to kind of make sure I have a consistent. I'm gonna play out a vial. Probably get met with either a daze or a spell piss. A spell piss, sure, that's fine. Counterbalance. Not the most fun card to play against. If this is miracles, then I'm fairly happy wastelanding this Tundra Elliot. I don't have to do it immediately. Counterbalances. Not the most fun cards to play against, I'll admit. I think it was a Pia Vanderham spoke on Twitter recently about how it's such an unfun card for one person in the game at least at a time, because either you as the opponent get your card counted off of a random flip, or the counterbalance user um, ends up in a spot where they their counterbalance misses, like now, and it's not fantastic. I'm gonna wasteland this knowing that he has a Tundra. Oh, he has a swords on top. Um, I'm also fine with that considering. Oh, he has no white source. That's really good for me. I imagine that's why he AK'd on his main phase. Gonna attack now. This recruiter is going to get a Flickoist probably. They don't have a lot of freeze, so I'm not expecting this to get counted. But he had a free, so but he can't cast it. So I'm glad to see that in a way. Okay, so I know as soon as he draws a white source, I'm not in the best of places. Uh, but I'm just gonna keep playing stuff because I kind of have to. Important. Now this is interesting. He's probably gonna cast it now. Target himself. Okay, I thought he had predict disregard me, but important, yeah. Probably looking for that green or that white source. We're gonna take a bunch this turn. I like Flicker Wisp here. I'm not gonna play it because I'd rather keep up swords, and I've got a decent amount of clock now. I don't think I need to, but he might. Mm. So he's looking for the white source. I have 6, so if I play the Flicker Wisp, it is lethal. He didn't reveal, which is fair. I'm gonna bounce the planes, toll up sword on the chance that he swords my Thalia. I'm presenting lethal now. He might have just missed on the land even with Portent, because Portent isn't a shuffle. Let's just look at the top. Oh, you may shuffle, but he didn't, did he? No, he didn't. So he found a land. It's about whether or not it's too late. Get plains probably. I wouldn't get a tundra in this case. Just in case I have a wasteland. Oh, he did. Okay. Well, if I draw a wasteland, it's kind of scary for him. There's the swords probably on the Mirror Crusader. Okay, it's on the Thalia. So that puts him at 1. If I draw a wasteland here, Flickers was also good because now I can flicker his Tundra um, out, which I kind of like doing. It's kind of like playing Thalia. But less likely to get counterbalanced. So he's got an island, that's fine. Gonna target the Flicker Wisp. I just want to choke him on white. I think that's the best thing I can do to stop him from miracling. And now I don't think he has many outs to my board. You can always rip the terminus off the top on my turn when I attack. So that's something to be wary of. He didn't. So I think we're in the clear. Great. Okay, that was a good game. Unfortunate of my opponent missing white, but these things happen. I think I want these 7 cards at least. I think the Relic Order is good against the um, counterbalance as well. I want to keep 2 swords because of Monastery Mentor, which we saw. Mirror Crusader isn't the most fantastic, and neither. I think keeping the equipment package is good just because Stoneforge is then like a draw card. I think Giver Runes isn't the best in this matchup. They only have 4 swords. Um, and it's also possible that I shave a Tonic or a Flicker Wisp. I think I can trim on a Flicker Wisp because I have Charming Prince, which seems a bit more versatile with the Scry. Although I could be wrong. This hand is probably mulligan. It's also possible that I might want to bring a Deafening Silence against their like Ministry Mentor cantrip draws. So I'd much rather keep their land count down than continue mine, especially because I've got three extra lands in hand, and they have a very few Mount Tundras, usually like two or three. So I'm happy to just get them while I can before they just stop playing basics and my wastelands just become uh, wastes. Opponent's using a lot of cantrips, probably trying to find something like a Jace. I think next turn I'm just going to play Flicker Wisp and then flicker one of my lands. Okay, so if he's just playing Mentor, he probably has backup, but I think I want to do this anyway. Okay, so he doesn't have swords, or rather he doesn't have force. Okay, so he found a Terminus. I cast it, that's fine. I'd like to find a Jailer here, I think. That'd be a good draw. I think I'm just gonna get this out while I can. Keep the swords up for... So he just drew that. I think he would have played it last turn if he had it. I'm happy to see a shuffle and a pass as well. I'd like to find a Thalia or Atomic, something I can protect with Caracas. Recruit is also good. Palace Jail is great. Another Caracas isn't fantastic. I like to not draw lands. I think a lot of these matches I would be quite happy with a Gideon 4 in my sideboard to draw into, where I'm not really doing a lot. Yeah, that's fine. Expect that. We're both twiddling our thumbs. He usually wins, and no, sorry, they usually win in this scenario due to the fact that um, they have a lot better top end. You know, they have Jace, Monetary Mentor when they have extra mana as well. I'm happy to see Charming Prince. I'm gonna play that to Scry. I can't just counterspell it, but I'm okay with that. I'm gonna bomb that Keepstone Forge on top, just as another threat. I think I'm fine with just letting this go. I don't really care for it. It does mean that my Flicker Wisps can kill their Monetary Mentors if that's what I want to do. Um, there's a Mentor. I don't know how many. I think they play three. I'm happy to get two out of the way at least. This turn I'm going to play my Stoneforge. Get a Pascal. I could also just hardcast the Pascal because I have the mana. I might just do that. I don't think he's got force in his deck at this point. It might have been better to leave up mana in case he has another disenchant so that I can bounce it and I keep that as like a threat to play on 7 or 8 mana rather, which might have been more correct. I think that's probably the better play. I can take my time on this board usually. The Council Judgment, yeah, that's fine. So I think the thing I'm looking for the most here is a Jailer. Opponent has voted for Baskull, so I will vote for the Gem. Uh, Let us pass here. It's not the most ideal scenario, but there's not much I can do. Um, sure, it's about what I expected. I think a Cataclysm would be good here. I'll be happy to Cataclysm his board. From what I'm seeing from his deck, I think he boarded out all of his forces. And that's his second swords. Okay. Chalice coming a little late, but I think it's fine to play it. I'll just play on one. Um, that does stop the prowess. Now I'm hoping to probably draw into a Cataclysm and then into something like. I think my best bet is like Jailer into Cataclysm or Revoker into Cataclysm or Council's Judgment, um, and then some other stuff. I need to get this Jace out of the way first and foremost. Okay, there's the other disenchant. Is that his third one? I believe so. Just a second. Generally, this can be a hard matchup if you don't get it going. Sunforge is fine. Get GT. Play out the GT. So we drew a card. That's probably wrong to play just because if I do draw Cataclysm, I now don't have a card. But sure, makes sense. I'm hoping to play 2 creatures next turn then, so I can. 5 mana. Okay, so he does play Force of Will. That's good to know. Or he does have Force of Will um, in his deck still. Good to know that, just for consideration. Hello, Bar. Nice to see you here. I'm a big fan of your stream, so it is an honor. um, yeah, I haven't got anything else really to. Okay, he's gonna counter and kill me. That's fine. Okay. Yeah, I don't really have anything else to play at Bologna. I considered humans, but I felt like I had more like hours with this, and picking up a completely different deck probably would end up worse for me, even if it is maybe marginally better. Um, yeah, I think so. I'm sure I could get convinced if someone gave me a better deck, but I think I'm just gonna play this deck just because I enjoy it, and it's probably I'm most experienced with this. I only really play this. I play a bit of goblins, so mostly vile decks. Um, okay, so I imagine my opponent might is very likely to have probably taken out counterbalance in this matchup. So I don't know how good Relic Order is. I probably would be more enticed with playing a Flicker Wisp just because it's better to draw. I'm not entirely sure. Apart from that, I think the rest of the thing is fine. I might be tempted to cut Wasteland, but I am on 23 instead of 24 lands, so it's less likely to cut a land. Um, I think Flickers is more impactful, so I'm going to get rid of this, even if he has counterbalance, because I'm better off against it. I'd love to play first. This hand is fine, so I'll keep it. I'm likely to lead off on Atomic, although Charming Prince is fine just to kind of set my draw steps up for the next couple of turns, and I can Flicker Wisp into it again, or I can flicker the Flicker Wisp afterwards. I I think in one of our games we played against an opponent who it was this guy. He he played a Tundra. I wastelanded it, and then he didn't have like a white source for like the rest of the game, pretty much, which is surprising. And then after that, he played a fetch land, and then a Flooded Strand. He could have fetched for a basic plains to play around me having the second wasteland, but instead he played a Tundra. Luckily, I didn't have the second wasteland for him, but wait, I just passed out playing a land, didn't I? Okay, I'm doing the same apparently. So, but now he's pointed me, trying not to, to play. Oh, okay. I need to. Yeah, it's all right. I think he needs the help. You know, he melled to 6, so now basically he's melled to. We're both on 7s, and he's on the play. Um, um, whoops. uh, all right, it's fine. I'm just giving him a bit of extra help. You know, he needs it. Because my hand is stacked. Alright, so I'm hoping if he just passes it, I'm just gonna play Chalice on one. Um, although, considering, did he shuffle me? He did shuffle my library. Yeah, so I'm just gonna play this on one, see where that gets me. He's probably gonna get disenchanted. Um, I'm okay with this. Uh, if he accumulates, that's fine too. That probably means that he's not got the disenchant. Um, and then after that, I can go into a Charming Prince or a Tomic. Maybe for a Revoker if I need to. I have this Cataclysm on handy. which is good as a backup plan. So I think even with me just passing the turn, I'm quite happy with my position. Okay, of all the things, I'm happy with that getting Council Judgmented. I think if I draw a land, I'm more priced into wastelanding this Tundra. Um, Although right now, I think what I'm going to do is I'm gonna play a wasteland anyway. I'm gonna scry a Charming Prince, try and find an extra land, so I can wasteland this Tundra. I want to keep him off lands to a point where yeah, this is fine. I'll probably bomb this Revoker, keep this plains on top, wasteland this, pass the turn. I just see I saw an influx of people. Welcome everyone. This is the fourth game of our league with Reno so far. We played against Blue Red Delver, Reanimator, and Rug Delver. If you're interested in watching those matches, I'll be uploading this league to YouTube. Once this is done, you'll catch my YouTube in the bottom. Also, if you're interested in my streams in general, you can try my Twitter and follow there. You'll get to know when I'm live. I always post 10 minutes before. It's usually on a Monday because I've been practicing for Bologna. Okay, so our opponent didn't cast the Terminus that they revealed. So they probably have a brainstorm to set that up in a later date. So I'm going to just try and play out the minimum amount of creatures and try and bait that out while keeping myself a good amount of like creatures. I think I'm happy to play the Flick Wisp and bounce the Charming Prince to get the Scry on again, just to kind of like fix my draws for the next couple of turns and give him enough of pressure that he warrants um, terminusing. It has a brainstorm. That probably puts Terminus on top, and if he chooses not to do it again, I'm happy to see that. Um, if he like slams a Jace, I'll play the and like if he like I don't imagine he'll slam Jace this turn, but okay, I'm going to get rid of this bot. It's in my chat. Yeah, get that out of there. See you later. Alright. Okay, sure. That'll kill my guy, which is fine. Um, there are worse things to happen. Yeah, I think I've seen that bot like that similar in XJ Cloud's stream. I wasn't entirely sure because I'm sure there are people that speak like that anyway, but I just after that second message was pretty apparent. Um, okay, so they've pondered. Let's see how they resolve this. They did not shuffle. Okay. If he attacks, I'm not going to block. Yeah, it's pretty apparent. Um, his life total is more important than mine in a general sense. Okay. So there's my swords target. And that is a recruiter, which is very good. I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to main phase swords the mentor and play out Tomic, which will probably prize him. He doesn't have force here. Okay, I'm glad he didn't. I have this recruiter now as backup. I'll probably get a jailer off of it. If I get the land, that'll help. If he plays a Jace, I have to revoke a. His Brainstorm's probably putting that Turnus that he had back on the top of his library. Um, Assuming that's the case, I'm happy to just like attack and pass. He could like he could instant speed Determinus, and then I'm just playing. His Krakus is good. I'm happy to draw on that. Now I'm probably gonna play the Recruiter regardless. So if he Terminuses, I can bounce the Tomic back, get a Palace Jailer. I'm not entirely sure how strong Palace Jailer is against the Dementor variants of Miracles. I guess it's just a normal variant now. I haven't been able to test Legacy as much as I'd like to of recent, until recently. Um, we don't really get it at the local venues, so I think because he's played one and he's got 4 cards, I'm just gonna get the Jailer. I need to have a way of catching up, and then I can Cataclysm at a later date. There's the Accumulated Knowledge. That's probably gonna get the Terminus. There's the Terminus. Um, he doesn't cast it yet, does he? So I can let this resolve, and then once he pays the mana, I can Caracas. Yeah, okay. That's fine. Happy with that. The 2 for 2, essentially. But now I have a Jailer in hand. I can play out my 2 creatures if he slams a Jace this turn, which is likely. I think we're in an okay spot. I'm actually fine with him just putting Terminus back on top if I get to play a Jailer. Okay, he's putting Portent to the top, which is interesting. Okay, Snapcaster, AK, or Ponder? Ponder. No, Brainstorm. Okay. He might just be looking for a Force of Will. In which case, I think I still just play out the Jailer. I can't really play around a Force. I'd like to make sure that the coast is clear for the Cataclysm if I need to play that eventually. It's possible that this game goes long enough that his time being on 7 minutes is relevant, considering our life totals are quite high. I think the main way I lose would be like Mastery Mentor or Chase, in which I have answered both of them in a way. While here is nice. I don't think I want to play out yet though. Although it's possible that I put myself in a position where I can crack his stomach and kind of play that game of that being a really annoying thing for my opponent. I think I just want to slam the Jailer here. He probably has the Force of Will, but given my hand, I'm kind of happy with that happening. Okay, it isn't. Super happy with this resolving. He's just sword it. That's honest. That's absolutely fine. Alan's fine too. I can't do anything, so I'm just gonna F6 for my turn, or his turn. probably put sword to top. That's fine. I'll probably play Vile, Tomic, leave up Caracas. Um, right now I think he's probably looking for a Jace or a Mentor. They're like his two ways of winning. This is another point where I'd really like a Gideon. Gideon feels really strong. So I probably should have portented before he Mystic Sanctuaries, but he probably just puts the sword to top anyway. Or he probably, I don't imagine he might need it. Ah, okay. Entreat the Angels. That's interesting. You can cast that for free? No, one. No, free. Yeah, because it's miracled for. Okay. I think this is a good time for me to Cataclysm, probably. Cataclysm, play out Vile. Um, keep the Crackers. He only has that 1/4/4, and I can draw a Sword for it or a Flick Wisp. Um, no, it's unideal. But I think it's probably the best time for me to use it, considering I will die otherwise. Um, gonna keep this. He'll probably keep. I'd like him to keep the Tundra, because then if I rip a Wasteland, that's quite good for me. Another land's good. That means I can play Tomic and just like kind of keep this Angel at bay. Problem now is that he's gonna get the Monarchy. Um, yeah. I don't know how common it is for Miracles players to play Entreat now, but it's been pretty good for him. I don't imagine it's that good in general though. Tapping out on Eva players turn into like Delver deck seems really rancid. I guess it's a good finisher after the dust is settled, but I feel like you just like win with Mentor and Jace a lot of the time anyway. It's definitely a winnable scenario though. That's a good start, I think. I'll start by sorting the Angel. I don't mind Thalia getting Force of Will. I'd rather just keep myself healthy. And now I'll have Tomic to get back to Monarchy. Hey Stefano. A lot of recognizable names here. I haven't had a chance to test it. I remember you saying that you were interested in trying that before, I believe. I think it's interesting, uh, but I think the general problem with Revoker at the moment is that it's not fantastic. It's okay against Ren and Six and stuff, but I think a lot of what you want to do is make sure that you keep a good count of like two toughness creatures. Like Mother of Runes, as great as it is, kind of is invalidated by Ren and Six at the moment, which is a shame because I don't really like Giver as much as I like Mother of Runes. Um, of course, I could be proven wrong. That's just my first impression of um, the card, but other crackers is, eh. Uh, it, probably not gonna play it. I think I'd rather play out the Revoker and name Jace. And then I'm just gonna pass. See what my opponent does. Okay, violent Tomic now. Now we would like to find another white source. We can also get back to Monarchy at this point, which is good. Potentially, if he doesn't have another swords. You just get that back tapped. No, wait, okay. Okay, so he has another sword. We can still get back to Monarchy because these swords the wrong target for that. Now I would like to find a creature so I can block the Snapcaster after the fact. Um, so I have an interesting decision here about whether or not I want to attack get the Monarchy and then replay Tomic, but leave him defenseless. He has used two swords. He does have 3 cards. I think at this point, considering I'm drawing a lot of lands, I don't want to keep drawing cards. That's probably the best thing for me to do. So what I do is I attack, I bounce him, and then I play him again. This port being a another basic would have been ideal, or a white source in general, just because then I could leave up a crackers by playing my second one. Okay, there's the other swords. That's what I expected. He has another Snapcaster. He probably didn't need to play out the third swords, then he probably could have just like snap swords. At this point, I think I'm prized into getting a GTA with the Stoneforge, or I could also get a sword. I think a sword's probably better in the long run. He's gonna draw an extra card. Kind of hoping that I can clock him at this point. I feel like if this game goes for much longer, I'll probably end up losing. Um, I'll get a sword. I won't play it out this turn in case of a disenchant. Although I could have that anyway. Yeah, you gotta play him out. Do a Reed Duke. Um, at this point, I just want to tap this. Okay. The longer he takes to resolve Brainstorm, the better for me. So I'm happy watching him do that. I would not like to see a Jace here, but that's probably what I'm going to see. It is indeed a Jace. Sure. I mean, this means I can get Basco with the Stoneforge and then play out my sword. Um, I also hope to draw another Cataclysm. That'd be good. Wasteland is fine. Happy to just Wasteland this, play this out. I think I'm fairly happy to just like cast this sword here at this point. I'd rather just like be mana efficient with the cards in my hand. Are you playing that the Dino Stompy deck that Phil was playing? I think that one's kind of cool. Imagine it involved him not having force for Trinisphere, and you just like hitting land. Oh, great. How's it been? It's quite interesting. It's probably better than Sure. Yeah, that makes sense. I've got all three of my equipment. I'm gonna play this Flicker Wisp. Yeah, I think now it's important I don't target a creature in case he has Containment Priest, so I'm going to target my basic. Yeah, that's a Containment Priest. Okay. My opponent only has 2 minutes on the clock, so I'm going to try and make sure he clicks through as much things as possible. As I don't know if I can win this game through conventional means, as nice as that would be. My opponent could just bounce one of my creatures with Jace again. Truly a revolutionization. I've well, which Garrick is it by? I imagine it's Garrick Relentless. I haven't really looked at the lists for it. I know it plays like Tireless Tracker and Trinisphere into free drop slot, and then it's got like Ceratops and some other things. Um, it seems fun. Veil of Summer's pretty good. I mean, it's a good reason to play green in general. Okay, sure. So, given the scenario that my opponent has put me in, I have a lot of time to choose. Yeah, I think Ceratop's actually a pretty good like legacy card if you're able to cast it. It also, I think it has what haste, trample, and was the other one reach? It might be reach. I'm not sure. It's either reach or something else. I know there's three keywords that you can get. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. I have 6 lands. Um, this is coming down to the wire, so I'm gonna do some thinking. I think I want to Flicker Wisdom Monk attack in with the Stoneforge. Kill the mentor, but that kills me. I think my winning play involves GTA in some way, but like GTA and sword. Or it's, yeah, I think it's pretty slim now. Yeah, I kind of just have to go on the GTA. I think I have to equip the sword as well at this point. I don't have anything to play. I can, if I pass, I die, so I have to attack. It's a good way of looking at it. So I killed 3 creatures here by doing this. Um, I can kill. Also gaining 2 life. I have to hope he has no spells in hand, which is unrealistic. Um, I can go to 8, and that's 8. I can go to 6, that still kills me. I think I'm dead either way. Um, let's see what he does. It was a close game. It definitely boiled down to him getting that chase and then this mentor. Here's another chase. I don't know how relevant that is. I guess it's relevant for the mentor triggers. Um, yeah. I think my best way of winning this game would have been if I had hit a cataclysm at any point during this. Otherwise, I think I'm just dead. Um, yeah. Close. Very close. 14 seconds left. It's unfortunate, but happens. That's definitely a game where I would have liked to see Gideon ally more so than the Relic Order. The Relic Orders felt a bit weak. I don't think there's nearly as many Stoneblade decks around as there was when this deck was played during Eternal Weekend. I'm not entirely sure, but I definitely think that Gideon might be a better choice. Um, it goes into play, last draw. Yeah, I think also the fact that I like it's actually very relevant there um that I had just passed my first turn. I think that was probably what cost me the game because if I had had that extra land drop, I would have been able to um, play Flicker Wisp, kill the um, kill the monk, and then equip Jite to Stoneforge attack, um, and then kill the two other guys. I mean, he plays the Jason and he bounces my guy, so it wasn't relevant, but it gives me more outs in a sense. So I think the fact that he had like Monarchy for like 20 turns is probably the demise of me. Okay, I get to go first once, and this hand is fine. I think I'll keep it. Two cracks is a bit awkward, but I can um, do go on free, Atomic on free, if I wanted to. I'll play Atomic on two anyway, but I have a curve, so I don't think I necessarily want to mulligan. Swamp decks usually suggest Reanimator or Storm, so I'm hoping to top deck Athalia in both cases. I think he probably just takes the Tonic. The Krakuses are good if it's a Reanimator, um, less good if it isn't. I think I want to play the Port this turn. Uh, I'll keep this Revoker until I know what I'm against more, and then I'm going to attack. Um, okay, Island definitely suggests Storm instead, so I'm gonna name LED with Revoker. I think it could also just be a basic, um, like 4 color pile deck. So I'm not entirely sure. Like it could be one of the. It's not got Snowland, so it's not a snow deck. I think I'm definitely. I'm gonna assume it's Storm for now. If it's not, then I'm surprised they took the Tomic over the Mirren Crusader, unless they're Crixus. If their main phase brainstorming, they're probably looking for a way to kill me. I don't know if anyone in the chat is going to Bologna, but if you were, what would you play? I'm interested to see what people would be bringing. Um, I imagine mostly. Uh, Jesus Christ, looks like this your show and tell opponent just had it all both games. Doesn't seem like it's a bad matchup. If you're able to like Trinisphere, I don't know. Trinisphere seems okay against the cantrips, but the being able to have show and tell on one on 3 mana anyway is like I guess it stops omniscience, doesn't it? Yeah, I'm just dead here, so that's bad beats that. Uh, I suppose it happens. I've had my fair share of getting turn one reanimated as well. Alright, so I'm dead. I'm just gonna pass through this. I got Cyrus. Okay, so I have a lot of cards for this matchup. Um, these 8. Swords isn't good. Neither is Giver. And Power Steel is meh too. You just want to kind of play stuff that kills them. Cool. I didn't forget anything, did I? No. Okay. I guess like Council Judgment might be relevant if they play um, Dread of Night. I don't think many decks play Dread of Night nowadays. Okay, this has Thalia, so I think I have to keep it. But it's on second thought, it might be worth mulliganing. It's a bit light, like land heavy, and I could probably find something better with what I've got. But I pressed the button now, so as long as I don't get turn one, it's probably fine. Although he can also force seize me. Recruit is good, that lets me get Sanctum Prelate, so I'm happy to see that. I'll probably Prelate on um, Prelate one's interesting, but Prelate on 4 stops Massacre. I'm not entirely sure what to name. I think 1 is probably the better choice. I have Thalia on the field though, so maybe 4 is better in that case. He's not cantripping. Um, they play both Echoing Truth and so I think I want. I'm definitely casting it. 4 stops Past in Flames, 4 stops Tendrils, 4 stops um, Massacre. It stops Warrens. It does not stop Prep Decay. It does not stop. I think I'm gonna name 2. did that now, which I think is fair. Um, Now the question is 201. Given he hasn't played anything yet, he has 3 mana. He could have Chain of Vapor. Um, as like his out or fetch land push. I think one actually. This could be wrong. It does stop him from cantripping into it. Okay. Right. I want to present lethal while also having crackers up. So I'm gonna play Tomic. He has to go off. I guess I was presenting lethal anyway, but now I want to port his Volk. Cool. Okay. I was probably sweating out more than I had to. Don't think I'd change anything. Um, it might be better to have Giver than a land, although that is uncertain. I might prefer GT or give it to GT just because it lets me not have to worry so much about echoing truth or um yeah, I think I might just like take out all the non-Bascal equipment, bring in two giver. That might be better, especially on the draw where I have less time. So that kind of sucks. I think I can do better than this. I'm in a mulligan. This hand is also not great. This hand is fine. It's probably the best I can get. There's probably an argument for Giver rather than Aether Vial. Okay. Yeah, that does resolve. Might just be dead next turn. I'll accept it if I am. I would be anyway, even if I did surgical. I just have one less card, and I'd watch as he killed me. Okay. Need to draw something good off the top. Probably want a Folly is ideal, a Prelate is okay, a Deafening Silence is also fine. He didn't shuffle, so he wanted one card off of that. And now he's probably going to Preordain or Ponder again. Brainstorm. That could mean I'm dead. He's looking for a petal or an LED. Okay. Passing after a main phase brainstorm is probably good for me. I just hope I can draw something good. Relic Order's fine. Let's get Pascal off this. It's awkward if he has a hand disruption spell. Might be more relevant. It might be correct to just like port him if that's the case. Although he definitely had the opportunity to do it prior just to get the Stoneforge. Maybe he has Duress instead. I'd imagine he'd probably trim them against the Hate Bear deck. Yeah, that's something I need to look at how other people sideboard against my deck. Yeah, it's like a Cabal Therapy probably. Wishclaw Talisman. That's good for me in the sense that I have Relic Order. Okay, but I might just be dead before that's relevant. Massacre, sure. It's probably gonna Goblin me then. Pass and Flames off the Wishclaw. That's cool. I like that. I guess it's just more expensive than if he had just done that with an Infernal Tutor. I can be an empty though. I think. I just get another Stoneforge. Flicker Wisp is also good. Let's do the math. So I pay one, get a Stoneforge, I put it in, get nothing. Play a Relic Order, take the Wishclaw. Um, I block 2, then I take 8, I go to 12. I put the Pascal in. Yeah, I think that's correct. So Oh, and I can get Thoughtseize. I think I'm still okay just because the Flicker Wisp. Yeah, okay. That was a good draw. Now I wish I had kept the GT in instead of the Giver. So I think I'm gonna swap that. I think I'm still okay. That's good. I'll draw. Oh, yeah, I'll gain 3 off that, I think. Cool. Okay, that's a good draw. Uh, are you two playing against each other then? I would, I guess that makes sense about the sniping. I was a bit confused there. uh, yeah, I'm gonna put 2 haze. I already used his massacre. Just gonna attack with my Flicker Wisp. I also pounce Recruiter and get. Oh, wait. I didn't know we played. Oh yeah, we did play 3 games. Okay, great. Cool. 4-1. Happy with that. Think the Miracles game might have been a bit better. Might have gone a different way if I hadn't just passed the first turn of my third game. But happy with that altogether. I think if I made any changes, I'd definitely try and fit Gideon 4 in here somewhere. I'm not entirely sure where. There's definitely room for it somewhere. It might be through this water or the Deafening Silence. I like the Deafening Silence just as like a 1 mana like turn 1 play on the draw and also like on the play against the fast decks like Storm. And like Relic Order came up there against the Wishclaw version, but I think the Wishclaw version is probably worse than the normal Storm deck. Um, I don't quite remember what they ran instead, but I think from what I've seen from Cyrus, who I would religiously listen to if I played Storm, like my teammate does, um, except on the concept of Wishclaw actually, then I would probably not care about this. There's a lot more fair cards in Magic in Legacy right now, I think. So the Relic Order is probably not as relevant as it might be if it was a format filled with like Show and Tell. I think the Delver decks are keeping that from being as prominent as it would be otherwise. Obviously, we'll see today when the bans go out. I'm not entirely sure when that is in our time, but if Ren and 6 gets banned, then I'll probably just keep it as it is. Replace these from other runes again. Bring back the main gal. Uh, go back to 4 Flicker Wisps. Probably get rid of these Charming Princes. They're only really great in the sense that they don't die to Ren and 6. They're fine, though. I was quite happy with how they're a cheap flicker with like ability, which is relevant if you have like a Violon 3 and a Violon 2, or if you have a Violon 2 and you're hitting your third land drop. So it's not the worst. It helps you to like recruit a chain earlier if you need to do that. So it might be worth just playing one still post this theoretical scenario. Um, yeah, that's me done for today. If people want me to stream more, I could do it on Friday, Friday morning, around the same time. If there's any interest there, then I'd be happy to. Um, yeah, if you enjoyed the stream, be sure to follow. If you want to follow me on Twitter as well, you know when I'm coming on, and if I do decide to jump on Friday. Um, it's lovely to see some recognizable names in the chat today. Nice to speak to Bar and Stefano, who I've seen in some of the Death and Taxes streamers. Um, I'd love to see you again if you come by. Always welcome. Yeah, give us a follow if you'd like. Also, I have to say I'm affiliated with SoSick. They're a clothing company. They clothes that are generally catered towards gamers, people like us, our kin. Um, and if you want to use the code NANOS, all caps NANOS, on their site, you do get 15% off anything that they do sell, which is quite nice. Yeah, apart from that, thanks to everyone. This will be on YouTube if you want to catch the other uh, parts of the stream. Um, give that a subscribe. I'll always put my videos up after I'm finished the stream. So yeah, thanks for watching, and I'll see you all next week or Friday. Bye bye.